11:57 in Lisbon, Sunday. 26, I suppose. I can't see the date here. Yesterday again, under torture with the injection of some substance that have the ability to provoke high pains on brain. Difficult to sleep this night from Saturday to today, Sunday. And there's a vacuum that have entered again the upper apartment over my room, and have done the same noise like a mechanical or something in metal, screw or whatever. I suppose they have a pipe to introduce this kind of torture substances on this continuous attempt of murder, because he was doing like taking a screw or opening a whole radio or two or something. They can inject this kind of substance. With, of course, a bumbo jumbo going around with a man of doctors and in him, where the last image that you have below 9 on your shadow plays is apparently the high tension posts that we have now here, very similar to the structure, to the chimneys on the power plant of Japan, and a helicopter in yellow with tires, and just in the position of these posts of agitation. There's also a news today, I suppose, a residual news, because I did not even connect with just some images of the order of engineers. I suppose my father belongs. Before you have killed him, if he is dead, the infamy Nazi in reality goes until this point, ladies and gentlemen, saying that it was not true, this news that is square on the impeached blade concerning a last illusion detected by Zescuro and the Miro crime, where was also this news concerning a meeting that he have promoted to evaluate and take measures against earthquakes in Portugal in this timeline of 5 earthquakes, and that I have interpreted is saying, as the others, in Nazi way, diagonally hypocritical, they have access these blades that I have manuscript that I have published with a summary of the facts that they have done here in proximity, before the tsunami of the earthquake of Venezuela now, and what this says for me, first of all, this apparently dismissed news of by the other side of there's no measures or no meetings or no plans or whatever today, Sunday. Your hypocrisy goes to this point. When I put all this together, it was clear for me that they have already the access, and Antonio just will have also the access of these blades before they were even published. This is the reality. Nazi a system method of capture from DP against the government, the parliament, and the president. That I've published yesterday, if I'm publishing something to someone with the return to these deaths on 9/11, as I have called during the last 6 months last year before the robber of this main document, by the evangelism acts that I have done at that time also, that I was obliged to make reparations at the same time that I was writing these. Some new figures and possibly interpretative plots, conflicts, whatever arise. And I have also done some inserts on this main document that I have called Dust on 9/11 concerning these new developments, always complement with online buildings, as is the case on South America, whatever country, and this rebellion leader, whatever. And they have already the care, as I understand just now, at the end of the morning of Sunday, to change chirurgical dirty more than change these texts, namely this one concerning this action. For instance, this written in Portuguese, I will say in Portuguese, o meu, para meu espeto. It's the term that was just a few minutes ago already dirty. It's not the spit. It's for my espanto. fucking Nazi reality methods of Nazis goes until this infamy. I want these people to rest. These are crimes done by telecoms. This is passing through all the fun. At the same time that you're still building construction and illusions that points again criminal agreements under the table to protect these terrorists of state with interests in genocide everywhere in the planet. There is all news of the Order of Engineers of Portugal that is here. As a result, I just opened the phone and there's some image and some titles, others have no images, on the papers of Sapo, these bandits. If it's new, this dismantling these apparently new recent actions just before Venezuela tragedy, with all that they have built here in proximity that I've succeeded to publish in a manuscript with some illustrations, quickly illustrations about the facts detected. With also the active participation of the criminal Nazi mob prime minister, the fire, doing the fire, preparing the fire. In summer, of course, because people are cold here. And changing plaques of tsunamis, alert that has no sense, and changing after the calls to these guys, the scenography acts. If it's true, this reinforces indirectly that Seguro was taking on this news, that he had illegal access, or he knows at least who have illegal access to these blades before were published. For this reason, they have also quickly changed the scenographic interventions, namely these nonsense, as I sustain and I explain in logical terms, alert of tsunami. It's clear that Seguro is going in the same way of a tricky shadow plays Nazi style, as detectable by this last news. I have published this in Word through the impeached plays concerning what I have called the mirror crime. It's a very good, bad example of these Nazi play shadows that have some values detectable by this nation itself. That once again the return to the construction in the last year, the hand, which is included on my manuscript concerning J.F. Kennedy's assassination, that links at that point 93 mode editions, some models, and New Zealand and the death of this Kennedy lady there. This is the reality of Nazis playing shadows to entangle us in lies that they try in this obsessive criminal Nazi play goggles, doctrine, and practice to transform in the perception of reality. This is how Nazism acts. They mount lies and they create a perception, an erroneous perception of reality in people that allows them to use and abuse of perverted power criminals, Nazis against Republic. On this, who controls the perception of reality controls the power. Nevertheless, reality is independent of the perverted exercise of powers. Must we postulate in sake of light and truth and justice? So there's a sequence of 5 checks if you are through the news. We start with this one in Italy that my point of view is connected with the death of this Italian lady from Erasmo and Colors do Rainho, that indirectly or not by news of the judge of relation can link a president, an undefined president, but perhaps Seguro by the construction that they have done on my own news, who are not news, are shadow plays. And they have the care to erase a tree image that I have taken on Cantor where this triangle of waters or pubis in the pages was shown to me because I have prepared this in my room as I have also shown. Why? Tuesday last week I was in Amoreiras. I was a remake here when I arrived home, which was, I have just given this account by Tiago, that they say Tiago Mel on the phone, on the pharmacy even. and discovers on these attempts of murder by forgery of 5 manuscripts here at my home. 5 months with the open wound in one finger of the feet. I have a manuscript that I look with problems on vision that I have also the care to create. And well, says 3 months, as I have shown. And then the conversation by the phone, Tiago Mel, I don't know if it is or not the one of the smart sort of the roles. And I recall a very strange fact with him when he passed through me, over me, on the atrium in the lifted zone. And I look it like this in a shadow place, shadow light place, this is the place. It seems my uncle Carlos from Brazil, which I do not have any photo here, how this is possible. When I return this Tuesday, I have a remake of this situation with a lady that seems for the instant on the shadow in the same place pass over me after synchronizing with someone on the first floor that seems Sima. Sima is in the table by these connections with Japan, the stolen cell, all the imag vowels of the stolen cell and the sheriff of throne and the table of throne and his brother and crimes against the Republic, first of all through Cavaxio. What was this now? Over of a newspaper in Oxa Before then, Wednesday, I have got online news about a new prime from Spain to this fucking Nazi president before Marcelo Rebelo de Sousa. And there was a news of him saying that he was catching the patrimony with a certain number of values expressed on euros. This is a line that seems also be residual here with this tricky conversation of the actual Nazi Minister of Justice. There's a written document that I have published in manuscript mode with an accusation at that time some months ago. And the invisible, not divisible property. Hypocrisy is factual as always. This is patrimonial expoliation and extermination are terms of my accusations and reality from September, also with the death of my father, as you all know well. And you still play tricks on these, namely with fake papers and go-betweeners and the impossibilities to understand the status of my mother by the phone of Francisco Nascimento, Manuel Francisco Nascimento, if Manuel Francisco is the name of the father, Vale Vitor Nascimento, when he was carrying these papers with open envelopes in blues, apparently because my mother had asked him. And I have tried to phone her to speak with her, the same number of impossibilities, just nothing more. As in September last, this is the reality of Nazism that runs free on this country. And there was also a man on the cover. I don't know if he's a socialist secretary or something from the government, again figuring the missing or cut finger, little finger. A shadow on a death of a child or a missing there you play, even with Lula for the time of Lula after the elections on second presidency without any answers as usual during all these years, and made by many others after. Still without my running water closed by terrorists in criminal way, if not directly by the orders of the government, thanks Nazi, or whatever, I demand and I see to the position I have proved 3 times with documents of support. This is a prepared crime of torture in the context of an homicide attempt going on.